What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Ace of Hearts, and today I'm here with a video about the Knicks. Now, the New York Knicks. I have a lot of friends that are Knicks fans, and I was recently watching Stephen A. Smith talking about the New York Knicks, and they were saying they weren't that happy with the Obi Toppin pick, and they weren't really happy with the way that the Knicks are going, and I'm here to tell you guys why I think the Knicks are actually in a very, very, very good position. So, yeah, let's get into it. So my first reason why I think the Knicks are in a promising position. Obi Toppin. Now, I know a lot of Knicks fans wanted Tyrese Halliburton to be selected with the 8th pick because he is a guard and the Knicks lack guard play. He was a 6'5" guard. He can shoot. He can, finish, pass, do all the things that you need a point guard to do. But I think Obi Toppin was the right pick. One, because he is a native New Yorker, and I think that is great for the New York culture. I think that creates a story, a good story that a lot of players would like to get behind. A lot of fans would like to get behind and attend games to see this New York native play for the franchise. Two, I think Obi Toppin is box office, like really box office. If you've ever watched a highlight of him, that he can really dunk. Like, his dunks are crazy on the fast break. He can do a lot of things, and he's not one dimensional. Like, he's not just a dunker. Like, he can actually play. So I think he's box office for that reason as well. I think that will draw other free agents to the franchise as well. So the first reason why I think that the Knicks are in a promising position is because of Obi Toppin. Now, the second reason why I think they are in a promising position for the future is because of their young talent around them. Now, I know that the Knicks have a lot of forwards, and that is probably their biggest problem, is that they have a lot of forwards and they don't have a lot of guard play in a game that is run by guard play. But I do think that they have a lot of pieces that will subside that fact that they don't have a lot of guards. For example, they have RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, he's very raw. I think he could be a great scorer in the NBA. I think he could be a crucial piece to a team once he develops. He just came off averaging 14 points, 40% from the field, 32% from 3, and 60% from the free throw line. So obviously for his size, that has to go up. Like, those percentages have to go up for a 6'7" shooting guard. That just can't be. That's unacceptable. But he does have promise, and when he's on his good flashes, they are very good and very promising looking. Another young player that they have is Julius Randle. Now, I think that the Knicks should trade Julius Randle, but let's say in a reality where they don't and they keep him, he is a very good motor, along with Mitchell Robinson, who I'll get to in a second. But Julius Randle, he's just a big, tough, gritty forward for the Knicks, and I think he brings a lot to the table. He just finished averaging 19 points a game, and I think he averaged 10 rebounds, so I think he averaged a double-double on pretty good efficiency. But and he can create his own shot. He's not like a one-dimensional post scorer. Like, he can shoot the mid-range, he can dribble, he can create his own shot. So I think that he's a good piece that the Knicks can build upon, whether they trade him or they keep him. And Mitchell Robinson was, I wasn't expecting him to do what he's doing in New York. That man he's a stonewall. Like, he plays really good defense, athletic. I don't know if you've seen those highlights of him trying to be like Kevin Durant, dribbling and shooting and stuff like that. I don't think he's ever gonna do that in a game. I wouldn't recommend he do that in a game, but the style that he does play, he is very good at, and I think that they should keep him or use him to get picks and other players to surround Obi Toppin as well. I really feel like they have a lot of movable and promising parts if they decided to keep them as well. I feel like the Knicks just have a lot of options with those players. And lastly, Miles Powell. Now, Miles Powell just came out of Seton Hall, spent all 4 years there, 6'2" guard. He just finished averaging 21 points a game, I believe. He's like, I'm trying to think of a player that he's like. He's kind of like Brandon Jennings. Yeah, he's kind of like Brandon Jennings. When he's hot, he can't be stopped. And he's also from New Jersey, which I know isn't New York, but I feel like it's close enough to where him and Obi Toppin can build that culture. They just signed him I think they signed him on draft night, or the day after draft night. I think he's a high risk, high reward player. I don't know if the Knicks player development will benefit him, but I do feel like they should give him a chance and that he could be promising if he learns not to be so high volume in terms of his shots. His percentages aren't that good. I think he shot like 41% from the field, or maybe he shot below 40%. And as a 6'2" guard, that's kind of low. That's kind of like some Allen Iverson type numbers, and you know in today's league you can't shoot that low of a percentage. He shot like 32% from three. He shot like 2.5 threes, or 2 point something threes, or no, he made 2 point something threes, but shot 9 of them a game. So I think his volume has to go down, but I do like the pick. I do like the pickup by the Knicks. I do think it is a very great pickup by the Knicks. Now, the only downside I can really see for the Knicks' future is the same downside that they've had since Patrick Ewing, and that's their front office. Their front office just makes some really bad decisions, like just some really question mark type decisions with player development, coaches, and different type of stuff like that. I do like Tom Thibodeau, but I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like sometimes I feel like they do have a lot of forwards. Even though I'm for Obi Toppin, I feel like they do need to get rid of some of their forwards. And also I feel like the front office just needs to be rebuilt for the future. I think they need to get some like experienced people in there who know what they're doing, who have a track record of making good decisions. Because New York, we all know New York just has a horrible track record with Porzingis, and then just the stuff that they gave up for him, and the signings that they make with the Taj Gibsons and the Noah Vonleys of the world. Like, those were just horrible signings. So I feel like the only downside that the Knicks really have at heart is that they just make some bad signing and player development decisions. So but I do honestly, in my heart, I feel like the Knicks have a promising future. Obi Toppin is great. RJ Barrett he's gonna be somebody in this league. Julius Randle is proven. Mitchell Robinson is a force. Tom Thibodeau's a great coach. Yeah, I feel like the Knicks do have a promising future, and I feel like they're gonna bring in a lot more fans next season. And with the way Obi Toppin plays, I feel like he's gonna draw some free agents if he has a good rookie season. I see a lot of Blake Griffin in him. And even though when Blake Griffin was in LA and they got Chris Paul's initial decision wasn't to go to the Clippers, it was to go to the Lakers, but they still got Chris Paul. And then once they saw how Chris Paul and Blake Griffin got meshed together, they brought in Jamal Crawford, they brought in JJ Redick. So I think this is a 2011 through 2014 Clippers type situation where they have the young electric star there in the Garden. They just need to draw people in, and then they need to execute on making the playoffs, and then move on from there. But me personally, I feel like the Knicks did make the right choice picking Obi Toppin over Tyrese Halliburton. I do feel like they did the right thing. It's New York, it's the Garden, box office. Steve Naismith likes to say that Obi Toppin is a Skywalker, which he is. It's going to bring in a lot of fans. It's going to draw a lot of attention. So I feel like, and because of the other reasons I listed, I feel like the Knicks are in a really good spot right now. I just hope they don't mess it up like they have a track record of doing. But yeah, I do feel like the Knicks are in a promising position, and I hope they get it done. It's been your boy Ace of Hearts, and peace.